Oh, oh, there's people here. What's up, Sir Dwick? Right. Tonight we're gonna be going into how to level your beats for maximum satisfaction. Um, this is something I started out recording and mixing, right? And it's something that I worked on for a while. Something that I teach a lot on studio1tutorials.com. For you guys that are, watching this video that, don't follow me or don't keep up, Studio One Tutorials is an excellent resource. I will get you there as far as mixing, and I'll get you there fast. But today, I want to go over some basics that are really important, and that will change a lot of your outlook as far as mixing. And I'm going to show you guys a real simple tool that I picked up today. It was $3. That can really make this stuff dead simple, and it's gonna help you. It's gonna help your plugins sound better. It's gonna help your speakers sound better, and it's gonna make your overall experience with mixing better, right? So you guys are definitely gonna want to stick around as we go through the 5 things that you're gonna need to know, easy gems to level your beats. So let's jump in. We're gonna cook something up. I think I'm gonna do something a little bit different, right? I'm gonna do something that's not like a straight ahead trap beat. We'll just start out, cook something from scratch, and we'll do the drums first, right? So we can kind of get, because I want to do everything. I want to compress some kick drums. I want to balance some drums. I want to pan some things, um, stuff like that. So let's go ahead and start out. I'll put my tempo. I don't know. We'll start it. We'll start at 88 beats per minute, and let's get out of these trap kits. What do I got here? Let's go for yeah. We'll do something like this. On a start, just from the ground up, and really just focus on the groove. Yeah, get something like this, something that we could compress later. What's up, Dr. Soul? What's up, E Nice? Shane? What's up, Blank Man? Shaman? Uo said he wants to see Asta. Yo, bro, my street lights are so dark that people walk their dogs with flashlights. That shit freaks me out. Let's get some hats. Yeah, I like that. Get a decent quantize on this. I hate that Studio One makes you set the velocity every time. So annoying. I don't think I want to do that. All right, let me get a sample. All right. What's up, Bluff God? What's up, Flowers? Soul Avery. LeVar bringing the New Year's cheer. I like that. Share this link with the people. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is instead of just going instead of just like going 808, I want to I want to do a I want to do like a synth bass. Do some Houdini shit. Pretty sure I could fix that up to where it's not terrible. Maybe get it in key. I'm kind of playing in between the existing bass line right now. You don't belong there. But this sounds way better. All right. What's this? What is this? J Music. Oh. 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 Oh, look at that. Oh, it's a free download? Well, well. Thank you very much, Jay. All right, we need to get some open hats in here. You make these drums a little bit. Put some more flavors on these drums. Mm. And then I just want to add another instrument on top of it just for mixing sake. Make it easy. All right, bet. So I don't know if you noticed, but while I was making this beat, I wasn't really um I wasn't really focusing on on leveling. I wasn't focused on mixing. I wasn't trying to get stuff to I wasn't focusing on trying to get stuff to fit. I wasn't panning. I wasn't no nothing, right? And I think if you want to be decent at leveling and decent at mixing, I think that you should, as I mean as easy as it is to kind of, you know, want to fall into that trap of saying like, yo, you know, I could do both at the same time or whatever. I think it's really beneficial to not do that. I think if you could just like bypass some of your anxiety and wanting to get to maybe not anxiety is the wrong word to say, but just some of the excitement of wanting to get to the final product and just try to separate the two processes as much as possible, you're gonna I think you'll wind up with much cleaner results. So now I'm color coded, I'm organized. I got my drums going to the drum bus. Okay. I got my band stuff going to the band bus. Now for what we're gonna do is we're going to do what we're gonna start getting shit together with flavors and what have you, right? So I want I like I like the way Luna sounds. I don't like the way Luna works. So I've come up with a way to get Studio One to sound as close to Luna as I possibly can. And that's by using the UAD plugins with their analog gain staging, right? Now, the first plugin I use is Oxide. Oxide is not a tape plugin in the sense of RC20 and wobbles and making shit sound dusty, right? RC20 is a tape plugin in the sense of it's a trim knob, it's a gain utility. And if you think of it as a utility, you're going to get the most out of it. So what you're going to want to do is to set your channels up so that this tape machine is behaving the way that it would as if it was being calibrated in the studio. And if you were doing this in a studio, what you would be doing is you would be driving your VU meter to 0, right? Maybe you know, touching the red for a little bit of effect, but for the most part you're sending this to 0. So that's what I'm going to do with every sound. I'm not going to worry about what anything sounds like next to each other just yet, because I'm setting this up first. And the overall effect, like if you read the manual for this, the overall effect is that this basically takes away the clean and sterile mathematical perfection of a DAW, right? This introduces a little chaos into your signal, but it's not so much that you're going to be able to hear it on every single sound. And if you do hear it on every single sound, you're going to wind up with a situation that some people in the Discord have come across where it sounds too much, right? So let's go ahead and hear it. All right, so that's my kick. I'm just making sure that I'm not pinning. All right, bet. Get my hi-hat. All right, let's get my open hi-hat. All right, bet. Let's do my loop. Bet. Let's get my bass line. Get my piano. All right, perfect. So now I have my signals going into my individual gain utilities that are adding analog color, right? Ever so slightly to the mix, which that's all I want. That's all I want the oxides to do. Now, the next thing that I want to do, okay, is I want to get all of these signals, each and every one of these signals, each and every one of these tracks, the individual tracks, not the buses, but I want to get each and every one of these signals down to negative 18 dbfs. That's the numbers that are on your DAW, right? And the reason why we want to do this is because all of the awesome plugins, for the most part, function better when they're being fed a signal of negative 18 dbfs, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to assume that every plugin works better that way. If you want to be a nerd and debate that, that's fine. But if you do it this way, you're going to be able to safeguard yourself against undesirable clipping of your plugins, especially if you use the UAD stuff, right? So the one, this is the easy button, right? This is a $3 plugin. And what this plugin does is this allows you to, first of all, it allows you to meter these numbers, right, that are in our DAW that don't translate into the real world. It allows you to meter them into real world 0. So again, negative 18 dbfs equals 0 in the real world. Negative 18 dBs is the point before we distort in the real world. As long as we're in the computer, we could go way higher than that, right? But as soon as you take that into the real world, you get nasty ass distortion. So the way this plugin works is you can set it to where this says, hey, I want to have a maximum of 18 dB, right? That's short for dBFS. And then if you click this auto button, it will listen to the signal and automatically attenuate it, turn it down to negative 18 dB, right? So I have a preset for that. So what I do is I take and I run this on every one of my individual channels. All right, we run that as the next plugin down. Okay. So now when we listen to it, so what I want you to notice first of all, is that Shut up, Keyflow. First of all, what I want you to notice is that even though now you've gain staged everything to negative dbfs, right, bro, that's not something that automatically mixes your track, right? This is not what you set your levels at in order to have a good mix, right? This is where your leveling begins. But this is also where you get to do cool shit. So for example, this kick, right? There's this awesome preset inside the SSL channel strip. And it's why I did this type of beat. So it won't work for every type of beat, but it'll work for this type of beat. It'll work for this type of kick, right? So Just Blaze did his SSL channel strips. He made 1-to-1 copies of when they mixed the Exhibit C beat, which, you know, that's a pretty decent decent beat. People like it. So I could take this. I'll run this on the snare. Shut up. All right, and this is how people start to use these analog emulation plugins in order to recreate these sounds. How much I gotta see how much sauce I got left. Ooh, I got plenty of sauce. All right. Now I want to take this bass. I knew that shit was gonna happen. Yo, if you crack Hornet plugins, you're trash, bro. The shit, it literally costs $3 today. Roxy, cut the shit, man. I've been mixing in analog equipment all my life, but today I find many good quality VXT plugins perfectly simulate analog. That's awesome, DJ Vivaldi. All right. Now I can use things like Culture Vulture and it won't cook it immediately. So one thing you'll notice, what's up, Sci-Fi? Just a wave. So I didn't even know Waves had one. I don't use this. I want to use take me. Here we go. So, like, for example, if you guys have Studio One, you can set this to negative to 18 dB. That thing calibrates this VU meter so that you're 18 inside of the DAW. Yeah, the Waves VU is nice, right? I just don't know how to use it. I don't want to fuck up for the people. So you see how I'm peeking right here? That's telling me I'm peeking in the analog world, right? Doom, 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 doom. Let's use the wave ones. Right? Same shit here. So if you want to use cool stuff, if you want to use the cool stuff like Shadow Hills, when you go into it, like Keyflow says, it's okay to clip the VU, but you don't want to pin it, right? You don't want to have it. You don't want to have it just slammed up against -3 here, all right? So now that I've like I got compression on my kicks through the channel strip. What I want to do now is I'm gonna level everything out, but I'm gonna use the last output stage of the last plugin I use. So for example, this hi-hat's jumping out at me. I'm gonna use the fader inside this channel strip. I want to hear more snare. Right? I want to hear less bass. Yeah, Keyflow, you definitely need to get an octo if you're going to simulate a board. For sure. All right, so for this piano, I'm going to use a different channel strip. Because I like the filter on this. Now you can do things like driving the gain of your channel strip to get effect. Then you can bring it back down. All right, I'm gonna do something similar. With my loop. All right, so the shit is leveled now. Put a little parallel processing on the drums. Ooh, ooh, El Crispy. So we're doing a little much here. This is where this is where this is where your buses come into play. So I run, right? I run all the green channels into the green bus. I run all of the red channels into the red bus. Those buses then go to the filter bus, right? So I could turn everything down, pull up my VU meter, right? Because I had a working volume, and then watch. Also, fun fact for you nerds that like the K meter, that's all that's simulating. Is the green is simulating 0 VU or negative 18 dbfs, right? Going to Shadow Hills. Now you hit it with a Pro L. And now you could go in and you have so much resolution on your faders that if like I need to adjust this hi-hat. And it's as simple as that. It's the literal easy button to not getting frustrated with your sounds, right? So all you got to do if you want to get, if you want to get something that like with your UAD stuff, if you want to get something that like really resembles an analog workflow, you run these oxides and you just adhere to analog principles. Just throw that VU meter to 0 a little bit further, but don't pin it, right? And then keep that same gain structure as you go down into your bus. And I'm telling you, like once you do that, your channel strip plugins are going to work better, right? Your channel strip plugins are going to work better. Your compressors are going to work better. Your EQs are going to use better. So instead of doing the -9 stuff, you just use. Well, see, here's the thing, Saf. Like this is the -9 stuff. This is just a different way of saying it because I've been saying the -9 stuff for 5 years, and a lot of the same people who keep in contact with me, it's still kicking their ass. So I'm just showing it. I'm just showing it in a different way because this is something that I had an understanding of when I wrote all that up, and I kind of left it out because I know that everybody didn't like learn to mix from a real engineer or go to audio school or read or read the visual guide to mixing or really do the math on it. So what I did was I created a program where I just used the numbers that are inside the DAW and didn't really give any explanation. Like if you just if you just paid attention to what I said and you followed that cheat sheet, you would be fine. It would work. But this is more of like the explanation of how I even got there, right? Because you see it's still pretty much the same thing. Like my kick's still hitting -6. My snare's still jumping around -12. The hi-hat's down below -36, -24. It's still very close. The instruments are at -24. Like the band bus is still at -24. This is what you get to, or this is how I got to those numbers, right? It was doing this over and over and over and over and over again. It comes from an old thread on Gear Sluts called why mixes on the computer don't sound as open as analog mixes or whatever. And that's the first time I learned about that these numbers were weren't the real thing, and we were running ourselves out of headroom in using them. But this applies to any DAW. You like if you did this in FL Studio would sound amazing. If you did this in live would sound amazing. What software do I use for the Elite Audio Cam? I use my iPhone. What's up, Manny? Bang it 2 times. You read the same thread? Yeah, it's good, bro. It's good. There's a lot of bickering and back and forth, but if you just pay attention to the first post in that thread, it's it'll stop a lot of confusion about different concepts. What else? But yeah, you guys, hopefully this answers questions on the metering and what these different settings are. Your K20 scale, which was created by Bobcats. Your VU meter with the negative 18 dbfs offset, right? And I'm telling you, you do this and you will, like, it's a lot easier to work. You just gotta separate the two things. You know what I mean? Like, you make your beat and try not to touch the faders. Use the outputs in your VSTs in case something's like way too loud, and you really have to turn it down, and it's just messing you up. Then go in, and the first plugin that you put, it's either going to be, one of these tape sims. Like if you got the slate tape, this is what you would use. This is how you would use the tape slate. That's why people say they don't like the slate tape, because they're like, I can't hear it doing anything. You're supposed to use it like this. You use it on every single track, and it'll show up in the sum, right? If you don't have one of these, use Mixtool. Or if you're in FL Studio, you use the utility plugin, right? And then if you get yourself this $3 plugin, and you have it automatically, gain stage you to negative 18, that's going to set yourself up to be able to use your analog emulation plugins in a way that they're going to respond the most like their analog counterpart in the real world. Yeah, Hornet has key detection too. It's all right. I don't know if it's gotten better since they updated it. I used to use it back in 2015. But we have better solutions now, bro. But yeah, man, if you guys got any questions, I'll give you a couple minutes to write something, but about to hop off, catch some double XP. See, and that's the thing, B Hoss, is when you have your gain stage set up like this, and you get a decent mix, like you can use any bass. Like I legit just went to analog analog lab 5, went to the analog category for bass and hit random and clicked the 4th preset with no intention whatsoever. I just do, like, when you have the space for it, you can use whatever sound you want. And that's I mean, not for nothing, bro. Like, that's why so many people use 808s, because 808s are the easiest thing to make sound good. Like, you take the Zay 808 and you play a synth on top of it, you're always gonna have something that is sonically correct, right? You're gonna have something that fills up that low end, and then gives you that almost pink noise spectrum profile, to where you've got the whole frequency spectrum filled out. You put a human voice on top of it, and it's nice, I don't know if UAD is still having the 50% off. Any tips on finding fire presets? I just use the organizer, bro. You just got to use the organizer. The organizer is super simple to use. Like especially in Analog Lab 5, I mean, they don't it really can't get any easier than this, you know? You want a sound effect? Do you want an ARP? You want brass? Do you want drums? You want synth lead? Do you want pianos? I mean, the key Roxy, no. Fucking gross. The key to finding good presets is to know how to play them, you know? If you if you're looking at bass presets, right? You're not going to play a bass preset like a chord. You know, you're going to want to play a bass preset like a bass. So when you're scrolling through presets, you should be able to play it like a bass. You should be able to boom, 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 boom. You know, you should be able to do that. If you're looking for a raw lead, you should be able to play. You should be able to play it like a lead, right? If you're looking for a good pad, you should be playing chords. If you're looking for a good piano, you should be playing a piano. You shouldn't just like be clicking in notes like little eighth notes so that all you hear is plink 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 plink. You should be holding those notes out so that you hear, the harmonics in the piano, and that's how you'll be able to tell. Because I knew, like, what's up, Impact? I before I knew how to like really like make beats like really good, I'd have my buddy come over. He's a musician, and I would do the drums, and he would play the stuff on top, and I would just let him. He would go on freestyle, and then I would just loop his MIDI, right? So what I noticed was I would play him and I would pick the presets. So I would play him presets that I would have never thought of using, but because he could play with two hands, I was able to hear him in a different way than me just clicking in eighth notes, right? So that's what you got to do. And like society's saying, is to vibe with your sense of VSTs when you're not cooking up. That was one of the things that he told me. He was like, bro, like, what you should do when I'm not here is, go ahead and make yourself a drum beat, and then just like, even if you suck, do some stuff with your hands, and you have a piano roll anyway. You're gonna wind up stumbling across some stuff that's cool. Take that, clean it up in your piano roll, and that was kind of how I produced for a long time. Is I would everything. I would start everything on the keyboard, and then what happened is I wound up learning how to draw fast. So then I stopped doing that, and I kind of I kind of know some better, because when I did that, I kind of messed up my finger positioning. So I've been practicing like actual finger, like I'm retraining my hands of how to actually hit the notes. And then when you do that, you come up with better melodies, you come up with better arpeggios. So I'm at the point where, like in root position, like thumb on C, thumb on the first note in the scale, middle finger on the third note of the scale, pinky on the fifth note of the scale, you know, with 5 fingers, within that little space, I can find cool melodies. So like the next thing that I got to push myself to is being able to move and hit that 6 note and hit that 7 note, and then go down the octave and then go up it, because that's the key to making convincing melodies, right? Once you learn, once you learn to go outside of root position with your hand, and you learn how to slide your thumb over to that 4th note, and then move your hand over. Yeah, exactly. Once you, like Keyflow's saying, once you learn how to slide your hand like that, then making melodies is easy, bro. It's easy money, especially with the tools that we got now. Super simple. Yeah, that's society. That's what's messing me up right now, bro. This Arturia Key Lab. I'm finding myself wanting to like do more stuff with the pitch wheel, and for some reason this Key Lab does not connect with the pitch wheel inside Studio One, and it's irking me. I'm not happy about it because this was an expensive MIDI controller. But yeah, man, my goal with this video today was to hopefully get less and less questions about how to level beats, because really not that hard, man. If you just understand this simple concept, very simple concept of going into your plugins at -18, or otherwise known as 0 VU. And that's all your plugins, your individual channels, down into your mix bus. And if you do that every single time, you're going to get a mix that breathes. Promise you. So this is CMP with Craftmaster Production, Studio1Tutorials.com. You guys keep it simple, but do not be basic. Go and get yourself a copy of my brand new loop kit, and we will see you on the next one.